What do you do when your roommate turns your home into a battlefield of petty revenge? For me, it started with stolen Wi-Fi and a pile of dirty pans in my room. But by the end, let's just say, he wasn't living there anymore, and I didn't even have to lift a finger. Well, not exactly. If you've ever had to live with someone who made you feel trapped in your own home, hit that like button right now. Today's story isn't just about surviving a bad roommate. It's about turning the tables so hard, they never saw it coming. Let's get into it. When the landlord finally called my roommate about his girlfriend practically living in our apartment for free, I thought I'd won. She was gone the next day. No more stolen groceries. No more waking up to strangers in my kitchen. No more hearing her cackle laugh at 2 in the morning. For the first time in months, I actually took a deep breath in my own home. But that peace lasted less than 24 hours. See, my roommate didn't take the landlord's warning as a fair call. He took it as a personal attack from me. He never said it outright, but I could feel it in the way he avoided eye contact, slammed cabinets just a little harder, and muttered under his breath. Then came the petty war. One evening, I came home from work to find the kitchen trash can already full. No big deal, I figured I'd take it out after dinner. But when I lifted the lid, I noticed something. My trash was at the bottom. On top of it, a fresh layer of rotting food scraps, soggy takeout noodles, a leaking yogurt cup, and what looked like half a cucumber covered in fuzz. The smell hit me so fast I actually gagged. It was clear he had deliberately dumped his garbage on top of mine so it would stink faster. I didn't say a word, but my stomach was already in knots. The next night, I was halfway through an online work call when my Wi-Fi suddenly dropped. No big deal. Maybe the router needed a quick reset. I checked the router still on, but my devices couldn't connect. That's when I noticed. The network name had the same name, but it now had 2 at the end. And the password? Yeah, it had mysteriously changed. When I asked my roommate about it, he shrugged and said, "Oh, I must have reset it. Forgot to tell you. My bad." His smirk told me it was not a mistake. The final straw came a few days later. I walked into my room after work and nearly tripped over something, a pile of pots, pans, and baking sheets stacked in the middle of my floor. Every single one was mine. I stormed into the kitchen and found him leaning against the counter, scrolling on his phone. "Since you don't like sharing," he said without looking up, "I figured I'd help you keep your stuff separate." It wasn't just petty, it was calculated humiliation. And in that moment, my hands were shaking. I wasn't just annoyed anymore. I was done. I had 2 options: confront him and get into a screaming match that would probably make things worse. Play the long game and make sure he was gone for good. I chose option 2. Here's the thing, our lease had a strict no harassment clause, and while most people think of harassment as screaming or threatening, our landlord had made it crystal clear that creating a hostile living environment also counted. And my roommate? Oh, he had been building himself a perfect eviction case without even realizing it. Here's the thing, our lease had a strict no harassment clause, and while most people think of harassment as screaming or 3D, started documenting everything. Photos of the trash sabotage, screenshots of texts where he admitted to changing the Wi-Fi, even a video of me walking into my room to find the cookware pile. But I needed one more nail in his coffin. I knew he liked to throw loud parties when I wasn't home, and our lease had a quiet hours clause too. So I casually mentioned to him that I'd be working late one Friday. Sure enough, I came home around midnight to music shaking the walls, beer bottles scattered everywhere, and at least 15 people crammed into our apartment. I didn't say a word. I just took out my phone, hit record, and got it all. Monday morning, I sent everything, the photos, the screenshots, the party footage, to our landlord in one neat little email titled "Harassment and Lease Violations Documentation Attached." I didn't have to wait long. That evening, the landlord showed up in person. I stayed in my room, but I could hear the conversation through the door. "You've been given warnings. You've violated multiple clauses. You have 30 days to move out." There was a pause. Then my roommate's voice, rising, "Are you kidding me? This is because of him, isn't it?" I just smiled to myself. The next month was bliss. He sulked around the apartment, packing his things in angry silence. He tried to guilt-trip me, even threw a few last petty jabs. But it didn't matter. The day he left, I stood at the window and watched him carry the last box to his car. For the first time in months, the apartment felt mine again. Some people think revenge means screaming at your enemy until you feel better. But real revenge, it's quiet, it's calculated, and it leaves them wondering how it all went so wrong, without you ever raising your voice. If this story made you wish you could have seen his face when he got that eviction notice, hit that like button, and tell me in the comments what's the pettiest thing a roommate has ever done to you. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma comes knocking.